Welcome back to Age of Engineering, and it's time to get a little bit more advanced in farming, I think, today. I did actually finish, or nearly finish, I think I may have finished, actually, a little power plant down here. Yeah, it's finished for now. I can obviously add another row just there, and then more Yellorian blocks, but we've got things going anyway. This is all feeding out and up. Let's go and take a look. And just up here, and then around the back. Yeah, I'll go this way. So yep, around the back we've got the cable coming up here, and it's going out to all of our machines. It also splits off sideways heading that way. Let me just cover that up now. Oops, not there. And my drill. My drill's in the charger. Can't knock that block out. Yeah, so it's heading out that way and out to our atomic reconstructor, as well as that the other way to the basic greenhouse. So you'll see it comes up for this power cube here, so I can get my drill back. At least temporarily. I should build a higher tier version of one of those, and it's keeping this charged just fine. You'll see obviously it's just used something up, but it will fill up back quite quickly, so I can accelerate this if I want to. And of course it's been producing ores, so I'm just going to pop this into the macerator. Copper is pretty much the smallest the smallest thing I have at the moment in terms of inventory amount. It's the lowest number. I don't have very much at all, and have been using it in here to get various things. So yeah, we have got one of the power cable coming under here all the way out to the basic greenhouse, and under here to the bottom of each of these. I was just going to feed in some well, not feed in, but use some hoppers on these, just so that I can put a few items in. What I don't know, however, is if they can or if they will let me feed out of the hopper. So, for example, if I put a hopper underneath here, you'll see a second. See the power cable comes in, so I can't. In fact, it doesn't need a power cable. This one, you can go away. Yeah, we just have the cross of these four going through. So if I put a hopper here to a chest right here, what I don't know is if let's just give it a try. Do I have a spare chest? Let's just grab you and head in this way. Oh no, it's fine. Just keep covering the holes. No problem. Where was I? Yes, hopper. I need some aluminium and a chest. So let's just grab some aluminium from down here. And we've got some chests inside. Just want to see whether it'll actually work with the product. It'll only eject once the process is done. Otherwise, it might not be as easy to completely automate that. So we've got a hopper and another chest. Let's go and give this a go and see if everything works together. Yeah. Okay. So if I say put a, let's knock this out of the way. Let's go in this side. I put my chest down. There. It's going to annoy me if there's one of those cables down there. That's going to annoy me. And if I put a hopper, I don't want to step down a little bit. Got some issues with that. There we go. So if I put something in there, will it automatically drop through? Is there anything that I can put in here? I don't want to take valid items. What's the center item? Is it bronze plates? I know what we can put in there. One of those crystals. Where are they? One of you. If this will actually work to just automatically feed the output into a chest, that would be good. Looks like it will. Good. I'm happy. Let's just cover this back up again. I'll try to ignore the fact there's a cable down there. I'm not bothered at all, honestly. Yeah, so we can put a hopper here. And now we've got a hopper on all of them. So if I want a lot of the same things, like these, for example, the empowered versions, which we are going to need, I can put a few of them in. And of course, you can see the power. There's no power on the center one, but there's power on each of these, and they are full. So let's just go and see what the recharge rate is like. What did we need? We needed one of those. We need rose red. I'm gonna have to find a way to automate the farming of rose red, but we can get some of that for now. Rustonia crystals, so Rustonia. And the empowered ones, what are the other ingredients again? Ardite and garnet, and I think I've got both of those. Ardite will be right there. And is that garnet or is that ruby? That's ruby. Let's put that back in for a second. Garnet? Yeah. Okay. So I just want to see what our little power plant downstairs. It's got 8 of those thermoelectric generators. Let's see what it's like now. So just make sure that these will allow me to feed in. They will. Good. So I don't need to do it for this one, but for follow-ups, that will be quite useful. Helps if my mouse is working correctly. And garnet. Okay, so there the power is dropping. Shouldn't take very long. There we go. So it's going to recharge. Have I broken the cable accidentally? Let's just cut down in here. This really should be recharging. No, it's not. Unless one of these is just taking all the power and the other it's not being shared out. That one's recharged. That one's partially. That's odd. Let me just double check. Oh no, they are recharging. Yeah, so probably they're just it's just distributing to different machines, just one at a time, instead of being shared equally. I'm not sure how this first cable is actually working, but it is actually recharging them. That's fine. So we just got to decide how fast we can actually put stuff through them. But obviously later when we get conduits, we can feed into them. I kind of prefer to have everything hidden, so Ender IO seems like a good place to go for that. We can get RF cables and we can get item conduits, of course. All in one block space. Okay, so today we're going to go for a couple of things. One is the machine chassis. So that will get us to the Ender Age. Sturdy casing we can make, iron casing, iron bars, all fine. Basic capacitors we can't make. We just need, well, we can, but we need some more empowered Rosonia crystals. And in here we need copper electron tubes as well with this clear glass from Environmental Tech. Apparently it doesn't work with anything but clear glass. So we need enriched sand. So that's going to be sand and nether quartz. Slightly expensive, I feel, but at least for this stage of the game, nether quartz is a little bit valuable, you know, towards the start of the game. But you know, we've got to accept it and see what we can do. Let's just put those away. So let me go and get some sand. Did I put some around here? I think I put some in here. Yeah, I've got some sand. This is actually working fine. We've got 2048 glass, so that's working very, very well. Okay, nether quartz. Let's grab some of you. I've only got 34 of you, so let me just get, I don't know, 10. Craft this up. Get rich sand, and then we can pop this back in a smelter of some kind. In my case, probably this one should do. Will you make clear glass? Clear glass. And we can put that in the thermionic fabricator, which is up here. There he goes. And that should actually start working. 3300 RF. Okay. We'll wait for that to actually start melting down. Nothing yet. So it's going to take a really long time. If that's not moving, we'll see. I may need to put more glass in before it'll actually start. So let's get that on the go, and we need to make those copper electron tubes, which is why I was saying about copper being such an issue. For each one of these, it takes 5 copper ingots. So I'm going to go get some copper, and then we'll see where we go from here. Alright, so I put this recipe together, and this was the one indicated in the top of here. I thought, man, what's going on? I've created clear glass. That's straightforward. But of course, only the recipe using thickened glass is correct, so we can only use this second one. It's a shame that you can't remove that recipe, I guess, but that's fine. Let's see what we need to make thickened glass is sandy glass, so that's just glass and sand. Alright, I'm not sure why that recipe was that restrictive, because that's not really... I need a stack, not one. Stack, please. It's not really that much harder. But let's see, sandy glass, so I'm going to want just 4 should be fine for now. Let's just pop that in there. And we also need for it the redstone ingot, which is from the algorithm separator, and some redstone. Let's just grab a couple more redstone. Don't accidentally break the drawers, that's good. And the algorithm separator. Yeah, we've got some weakened diamonds, and let's put in some redstone. And of course that's processing. It's processing fine, and we've got lots of RF, or at least lots for this stage of the game. Let's not talk about lots when we're going to get to Draconic Evolution at some point. So we've got 2 redstone ingots, fine. So here's the recipe instead, 1 or 2 of those. And is the thickened glass, not sandy glass, not what was the kind of glass that I got? Clear glass from Environmental Tech. Yeah, so we can't use that clear glass. In fact, no, we can use the clear glass just for the input. Okay, there it goes. It's powering up. So that's the fuel. Is one type of glass, and the recipe is another type of glass. I don't know why, but it should work. Right, we've now got supplies of liquid glass. So this is just going to need the ingredients. And it should now make copper electron tubes. Good. Copper electron tubes, let's just put them in this one, maybe. That. Okay. That would be amazing if that was an issue, but yeah, I thought that was going to duplicate on me. So we need the, oops. We're going to need the enriched gold, which I've got some with me, and the empowered Restonia crystals. So let's put the gold in first of all. And the empowered Restonia crystals is going to need me to get some more rose red and some more of those tiny little things up there. What are they called? Like the extra utilities 2 thing. Resonating redstone crystals. Now, if you have access to ender pearls at this point, you can make them directly. I don't yet. I can't make endstone, or at least there's no recipe for endstone. You normally expect like is it like sandstone and with obsidian poured on top or something, but I don't see any recipes in here for endstone at all. And if you know any more or know any better, say so in the comments below. But it's in the end, of course, so we do need the ender pearls anyway. Easiest way to get those is, and that void resource mana needs the same thing, so it also needs you to go into the end for the endstone. So this is easiest to get by breaking lots and lots of tall grass. You'll see there's not much tall grass around. That's because I ran around and broke every piece I could see. A couple of stacks are 1 of seeds and 1 of industrial hemp seeds, and 2 ender pearl seeds. And of course they don't grow very fast. So once they grow into the sort of full size version, we can take them to make those empowered. Were they empowered? What are they called again? Resonating. Resonating. There we go. So it's just 4 redstone and an ender shard, which is an 1/8 of an ender pearl made with a glass cutter. So that's all very straightforward recipes. But of course, we need to get those. And I think we get them by just mining redstone, I want to say. So I'm going to go mine for a bit, see if that's true. And when we come back, hopefully I should have enough for a few more of these empowered Restonia crystals. And what's the other things we need? It's just Ardite, I think, which is fine, straightforward. Ardite, red garnet, which I've got both of those just fine. Rose red, we can get it from poppies, of course. We get it from red wool, so we could, I suppose, breed up sheep with red wool and get it back out of them. Okay. We get it from beetroots. Interesting. What does it take to get beetroot? Beetroot seeds? From dungeon chests, and dungeon chests. Why isn't there a way for me to make beetroot seeds through breeding? That's not... Ah! Okay, I'm going to go mining and see if I can find a mine shaft of some kind. And we'll take, of course, our shurikens with us, and we'll see what we get for this haul. Alright, so a little bit of mining later. We've got everything we need. I did get 4 of these resonating redstone crystals, but we can be a little bit more efficient. If we were to put a block, which is 9 of those Rustonia crystals in the middle, we pay a sacrifice in RF, but since the RF is coming essentially for free from down there now, we can just go for this one. Now this requires 4 million RF to actually produce, rather than, you know, whatever the original one was, Rustonia. 400k, so it's not as it's nowhere near as efficient in terms of power, but since the power's free now, yeah, why not? So this is going to actually drain all of these, and then once it hits the bottom, it's going to have some issues. So yeah, that's something I'm going to deal with, but I'm just by walking away and waiting for a while. So that will get done. We can add that to the recipe, which will let us form this. Okay, and that will let us create essentially the machine chassis. I don't think there's anything else. That's the basic capacitor, and we're probably going to need to make more of those. Is that the only recipe for the basic capacitor? Really? So, if they're in use as much as in earlier games, yeah, we're going to need to really, really automate empowered Rustonia crystals. You need quite a few capacitors, at least to get through Ender IO with any kind of sanity left. So that's something to do. So yeah, to get the machine chassis, then we need a sturdy casing, which we already have made before. Some iron bars. So let's just put that recipe down. I think I've got some iron bars in this chest. Yeah, I've got some iron bars. So if we put those down, we need a sturdy casing. Probably in one of these 2 chests. There's one. Made it up between the episodes. So now we just need an iron casing, and it's probably worthwhile me making a few of these. What's the mixed metal ingot again? Mixed metal? Oh, that's 2. Interesting. Tin plates. Okay, so I'll need to go make some tin. That's straightforward. I think I've got quite a few tin. I think it's you. Yeah, that's enough. And if I make enough tin plates to make quite a bit of this, let's just grab all these actually. And then we'll just make 7 blocks and then turn those into plates. We'll get that on the go. I'll then make up the rest of the stuff needed for the iron casing, and we'll come back once that's done. Okay, so it looks like our block is done. Let's grab that. So it looks like it is. Hopefully that does break back down into 10, well, 9 of those. We've got 10 so far. So we've now got everything we need to make the basic capacitor, which sounds like a strange thing because that's such a small thing to actually get, but we've got one. Great. Basic capacitor Ender IO. We can put you in here. Then we just want one of these iron casings and put that in there. Oh, why doesn't this work? Is this in like a oh, it's probably in the carpenter with the seed oil, isn't it? Machine chassis. Was I not paying attention? Entirely possible. Yeah, it does need the seed oil. So I need to get the seed oil first, but that's the recipe. We've got all the ingredients. We just need the oil to make it work. Okay, so we want a squeezer, I would imagine, and a carpenter. So a squeezer is just tin and a sturdy casing, and the carpenter, I guess, is the sturdy casing in bronze, is it? Yes. Okay. So, and those, of course, need lots of bronze anyway, but they are in our Empowerer, so I can go and make a couple of those. Alright, so one of our cases is done, and the other one should be done fairly soon. Never when I want it though. I wish I need some kind of progress bar on the center. Something like that would be nice in future, guys. But without that, that's still okay, I guess. Let's make a squeezer. And we also want the bronze ingots. And we can make another carpenter with that. For now, let's just put this outside. Not sure if this requires... It's going to need RF? I imagine it would. So, I guess we can do an offshoot of this cabling somewhere. Maybe here. Seems reasonable. Do I have any other cabling spare? Of course I don't, but I do have a setup on the inside to make more of it quite easily. Let's just grab a few pieces. And of course I've taken the Rustonia crystals out of it, but that's okay. Pop those back in. So, I don't know, get a few. Don't have to be too specific. And let's just extend that cable up. Like that. And then we want the squeezer on the top, probably. Or, well, it doesn't really matter which way around we put it. Let's put it on the bottom, and hopefully it'll export to the top. Okay, so it's getting power. Good. Empty tanks with the pipettes. Fine. Missing resources. So am I just going to need seeds for this? If I put canola seeds in, I get 10 millibuckets out. So I'm going to need 100 canola seeds. And of course, we'll automate this relatively soon. Is the farmer that I put down here, does it actually harvest more seeds, or is it just the canola itself? Seems like it's just the canola. Yeah, I did put a worm in place there, but that's fine. But if I harvest them manually, I get both. Well, it looks like you're getting upgraded. If we do use canola, that is, canola seeds. Well, what's the... Let's just check. Can we convert the two? Canola seeds? We can. We can just convert the two. Okay, good. Because that means lots of canola. It means lots of canola seeds. Let's just grab... In fact, we just put it through our own crafting grid. Just like that. And that should mean we can get enough, at least for this starter set of seed oil, which will then let us create our first machine chassis. Of course, we're going to automate this, but to start off with, it's pretty straightforward. That's going to take a while to build up. Unless there's some way of speeding the squeezer up, that's going to be quite slow. There are other things we can do to get seed oil much better, I think. Is it the cherry tree? Is it cherries? We get mulch from cherries. I thought we got seed oil. Ah, there we go, squeezer. So yeah, we get 50 millibuckets, so 5 times the amount of canola, probably for the same processing time. And we get mulch as a byproduct. So we can then reuse the mulch elsewhere. And we can use it to make bog earth, of course. Humus, created mulch. Anything else? Yeah, this is usual biomass. Okay, and biomass is then used elsewhere in the still, I guess, to get ethanol. Okay, that's going to be much later. To start off with, we've got seed oil. Man, that's not taking too long. There's definitely some kind of bottleneck going on with this cable. It's fine for these machines, but when it gets here, see, this one is 800. This one is recharging. This one is 800. Nothing. So yeah, it doesn't function like cable I'm used to from Ender.io, certainly. May require some kind of specific setup whereby each of these needs a separate feed from the main power underneath there. I'm not going to build that, to be honest. I'd rather just actually work on Ender.io proper conduit if I have to do that. So energy output. So any conduit binder on the composite, that is wood pulp, which is sag mill recipe in this pack. Okay, CF powder. Okay, that's not too bad because we're going to get that from one of the pieces of equipment inside. That's not too bad. In other packs, that would, excuse me, that would make me cry. Conductive iron. Alloy smelter recipe as normal. Nothing special there. So we can get to conduits quite quickly once we get into Ender.io, and I think that's where we're going to be going. The Ender Age isn't just about the end, it's about Ender.io, and that's where we need to get this from. So I just need to wait for this to turn into a sturdy casing. There's not much I can really do to influence that, I guess, other than stick a manual mill and start clicking next to one of these, which I'm not going to do. Oh, it's trying to recharge. It is using up power. I wonder if I can just use this, just grab this temporarily. This is 50k RF. It might give it a bit of a boost. Depends how far through crafting it is. Are you going to output? Oh no. Oh no. Does that just restart it? I hope not. Oh, if that's the case, let's just connect this in. You're not giving up that power. So I guess I can't use that as a battery. Well, worth an attempt. Let's come back once this is transformed into a sturdy casing. And we've got a sturdy casing. So let's use that and make the other piece of equipment we need. Pop back inside. I should have gone through the other side of the building. I do have a hole in it, after all. There it is. So we can craft this. I suppose I could have robbed that one, but we're going to need more than one anyway, so we may as well. And I'm going to need this stuff as well, aren't we? So let's just grab all these iron bars, put a few of these things in. I don't mind about at the moment. And go and put this outside. Hopefully you're going to output just fine. Why? It will output to one side. Let's see if it'll output to the side. Where's the drill gone? I was hoping these would auto output without me doing anything. No. That's a shame. I guess I can just bucket it in. There's no reason not to at this stage of the game. So let's just grab one from you and put it in the U. Fine. With the bucket back, that'll work just fine. So an iron casing, we got that. The basic capacitor, the iron bars. And where's the other bit, the sturdy casing? You need power. And I've put it next to that, not... Yeah. Okay. We got power now? Yep. And we get a machine chassis. Of course, we've got to pick it back up again. Pick it up. And we get the Ender Age with a trophy. Great. Moving through these quite quickly. I'm quite happy so far. I shouldn't have said that, should I? So there we go. The Ender Age. Now, it's very important we use this machine chassis wisely. Because it just takes a bit of time for me to get the rest. So I think what I'm going to do with it is make an alloy smelter. There are a few reasons for that. One is I want a reservoir. Reservoir needs fused quartz, and fused quartz is obviously an alloy smelter recipe. So, and the reason I want the fused quartz for this reservoir is like the infinite water of early game, and that will allow me to go into the cloche. Because all of that farm for the canola oil is okay, it's not amazing. So if we go in here, we're going to need to make another basic greenhouse. Then an advanced greenhouse. Tanzanite comes from algorithm separator, so we need lapis lazuli blocks. I think I've got a few of those, so algorithm separator, let's just make 4 of you. Yep, that's processing. So yes, I need to make the advanced greenhouse. So let me go and make that off camera, just so that, you know, I don't waste your time while watching this stuff. I'm going to get to the advanced greenhouse stage and then we'll carry on and see where we get to. Okay, we've got the advanced greenhouse ready to go. One of those. And let's grab those back for a second. What else do we need? We want the farmer, so that's the advanced greenhouse, a couple of empowered canola seeds, and a couple of iron casings. So the empowered canola seeds are just the crystallized ones with the 4 of these surrounding them in the outside empowerer. So we want a couple of iron casings, which I've already made up here, so those should get going. And then we also want Inori crystal blocks. That's just 9 Inori crystal, and each one of those is an ingot, iron ingot to be specific. So now we need some glass of any kind, some treated wood planks, and a lantern. The lantern is glowstone, and iron plate and some glass planes. Okay. Do we have any iron? Yeah, some of it's cooking up. So let's just get a couple of you and roll those. Some glowstone I think we have. Yeah, I got some from the nether. 4 of those. They should reform back into the glowstone, and we need some glass panes, which should be straightforward. They're like the iron bar recipe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should do us. Grab the farmer. You can actually use the farmer. It's fine. It's just the garden cloche tends to be better in all respects. So why not just go straight for it? Well, yeah, why not indeed? Let's find out if that's doable. At least until we get to the farming stations. But I think that's either in... Could be the Ender Age. It could be... Oh, what's the farming station like? Yeah, I'm not going to go and make a slice and splice. Definitely need to get that wording right. Just yet. In fact, I had lots of iron plates in my inventory already. Oh, we get 3 lanterns. Okay, let's take those back, put the lanterns in. We want the farmer. And what was the rest of this for the cloche? Just glass. Fine, just regular glass. So let me just grab a couple of those. And then I need to hunt for treated wood planks. I think I should have some of those, but the easiest way is just to go treated. Double click that, and then they should appear in any of here if I have any. I'm almost sure I kept a few. I keep throwing away the creosote, so I don't want to have to go and make more, but it looks like I may have to. Let's just, for a second, configure that and just stop you from pushing everything into the fluid waste while I just go and quickly check those other chests. I definitely haven't put them into the main system yet. I tried to only put the stuff into the main system that I'm going to have, you know, long term. And in this case, I'm surprised. Maybe I convert them all to treated sticks. Anyway, treated wood planks. Treated planks. Is just one bucket worth with whatever planks I want to use. So we should be able to use just, I don't know, a few of, I've already got some inventory. Let's just make a few of those. Oak wood. Yeah. And let's just reuse that. And do I have a water bucket I can just dump this out in for a second? Dump it in over here and let's see if any of these are actually processing creosote or not. It's not, because it's backed up. Now it should be producing creosote, and this one, of course, isn't actually making me any more coke at the moment, which I can also set that one going. So that should fill up quite quickly, I imagine. And once we've got it filled up, then we can use it. Okay, one bucket of creosote gives us treated wood planks, which we can then turn around and hopefully make into the cloche. Garden cloche, immersive engineering. So we also need from there, well, a source of water. Yeah, what do we have for a source of water? I need that. I need the alloy smelter back. So we need to make the reservoir. Where did I put the very, very important, there it is. We want to make the alloy smelter. And that we can put in here, I guess. So let's just put this down. Alloy smelter. And that's 3 furnaces, some iron, and cauldron, which is more iron. I think we got enough iron in here. We should have. Let's take that back. Make the cauldron. Usually I have a few furnaces kicking around. If not, we can just make more with some cobble. Do I have furnaces? No. More cobble it is. Three or four should do us, and that's exactly, we're going to get 4 out of this, so that'll be okay. 4 furnaces, so something like that. Then the machine's chassis, the iron, and the cauldron. And we get an alloy smelter. Ender IO. Oh, so much better. So, in fact, let's just hook this up inside rather than outside. I think the cable is going to be right there. So let's just knock that through. Yeah. And let's pop in our alloy smelter. And that is building. We don't have a basic capacitor of any kind yet. But I want 36 of these, I think. I think it's 12 per set of fused quartz. So that is actually processing. It's just taking a little bit of time. And we're going to need the reservoir. So fused quartz times 8. You get them in sets of 3, so we need to make 3 sets, and each set is 12, so that's fine. We do need another cauldron, so we may as well make that up while the fused quartz is processing. And what was the recipe? It's in the middle, isn't it? So that's fine. We also need a way to get the stuff into the cloche. I'm just wondering if the fluid tank will do it. That will be the cheapest, I think, at this stage of the game. Fluid tank is just some iron bars and some glass. So let's just grab a piece of glass. Take this back for a second. Don't bother having any spare iron bars. Let's just make another set. That's not really a problem. And I always misremember where you're supposed to put the iron bars and the iron. Oops, definitely not there. Is it rotated by 1? Yep. So a fluid tank, that should be okay. Grab the iron bars back and let's just put a few things away for a second or two. Not the iron plates. Then we can put the cauldron back. Okay, we've got 6. We need 8. One more processing, please. And we should have a reservoir. And we're going to need a couple of buckets. Where's my existing one? Did it get used up? Is it my inventory? It could get used up. Okay, is it just ingots or is it plates in this mod pack? Never quite remember. Let's give it a go. Plates? No, it's ingots. Fine, we've got plenty of those as well. And we just want 2 because we're going to need 2 buckets of water for this. The reservoir only works as an infinite source, I think, if you fill it with a couple of buckets of water. So we'll just do that as well. And we need to decide where we're going to put the cloche down, but that's straightforward. I'm just going to wait for that. Oh, you have finished. Good. And there we go. 4 reservoirs. Put that back. Let's see if we can put this outside somewhere. And I guess I'm not quite sure if it needs RF or not. In fact, let's just paste the cloche down and hopefully it won't be too... I mean, it's immersive engineering, so you imagine it needed RF. That's millibuckets. RF. Okay, so it does need RF. Power. Where's my drill gone? Where do we want this that has RF power? And why can't I put it back in my inventory? Go away. Okay. I'm going to put it here for now, actually, because it's going to be producing canola. And that's where our squeezer is. So for the moment, it's fine where it is. Before I do that, I'm going to want to put the reservoir down. So let's go down to... My inventory is just completely full. This just happens. This just happens. Okay, so if we can put the reservoir down, let's put it there, 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 and there. It is a multi-block. And what I'm just wondering is if it will feed automatically. So let's give that a try first, because I can use a fluid tank elsewhere if that's the case. So let's just feed in 1 water bucket and the other one. There we go. And it becomes a infinite water source. Now, if I put the garden cloche on top... No. All right. So that's okay. I was expecting that not to happen, which means that I can grab the fluid tank, hopefully, and the fluid tank configure IO, we want it to pull from the bottom, water, and then push to the top. Now, will you work with the garden cloche? If not, then I'm going to have to do... Oh, no, it works fine. Good, good, good. Fertilizer amount, I don't have any fertilizer at the moment. I assume that's what these slots, well, the slots are for. We need to feed that in somewhere. It's not... That's annoying. It only has RF on one side. Okay, let's just get rid of you for a second then. And if I put you here, say... You are connecting to RF. Good. So let's put the floor back with the dirt that is down there that I can't get back. I'll put it back later. Yeah, just use stone for now. There we go. All hidden. Quite good. And later on, we can use something like the fluid transfer node. Transfer node fluids. Yeah. Straightforward recipe again. But again, we need to make these hopper ducts. And they take aluminium. So yeah, for this setup, straightforward. If I get some canola, do I have any canola seeds? I could use prune seeds to prove the concept, but let's just try canola. this should actually be much faster than this setup over here. Let's give it a go. Yeah, let's get some of those. I'm all for the compactness when actually doing this stuff, so more the better. And I suspect what's going to happen here is that this will output or this will output. Either way, I may have to spin this around, depending. We'll go back to find out. Let's pop in one canola seed. All right, is it going to output? Immersive engineering typically does that. Maybe it takes some time. Not sure how much time it takes for these, but we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Okay, looks like I just needed to put dirt in the other block so to make it grow. And we're getting canola and canola seeds. So when they're not popping out, which is normally what happens with immersive engineering. So if I go and grab some kind of container, let's go and get a chest from inside. And grab a few of those. Will it output into an inventory, I wonder? Because if so, I could just put a hopper on the other side. Doesn't look like you're outputting, which is unusual for immersive engineering. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is automatically output those somewhere. I assume you... unless it outputs to the bottom, but if it does, that's going to be a bit of an annoyance with the fluid tank, so I'm going to have to rearrange it if it does. In either case, I'll do a bit more of experimentation and we'll show you in the next episode. But I'm going to feed those into, ideally separate them. We want maybe a crafter that'll take the canola and convert them to seeds. And the seeds can just go straight into the squeezer. And then we need to connect up the squeezer and the carpenter, and then we'll have seed oil. We could also look at the fuel that we can make from canola, but let's actually just get that started anyway. It is certainly much, much faster than the other setup. So, you know, in the meantime, we're gonna have to deal with this. I think I don't want that other setup. This is fine. So we've got into the Ender Age. We've got the Gladden Cloche on the go, and we're going to get more of them to grow more things. Probably like those beetroots when I finally find one of them in dungeon chests, really. So if you've liked the episode, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.